Yes, sir. We are back. Colts fans, I hope that we are still riding the high of this big week one game. But you know what? We got another game coming up, which we're going to discuss tonight. Grab your popcorn, grab your drinks, make sure that you do all the great things because we're about to get started. Sammy, bring us in.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. And Bill Show.
Intercepted! Marlon Jackson! Marlon's got it! We're going to the Super Bowl! We're going to the Super Bowl! Marlon Jackson with the interception! He picked off Tom Brady!
The sickest Indianapolis Colts podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Yes, sir, and it is sick. But before we get started, bring us in with that anvil.
Sammy.
Well, you know what? While they get everything loaded up because apparently they lost the hammer and didn't want to bang their heads on the anvil, we welcome you back to the Sig Podcast Anvil Show. We're talking about everything Colts, and before we do, just got to get to the guys. I know us, I know you love us, but you know what? We still got to do it anyway. So I'm one of your esteemed co-hosts. I am CJ, and we have with us
Big P.
Yes, sir. And we are here. So we're still feeling pretty good, right? Like let's get a temperature check in the comments. It's just like if you're feeling pretty good about what's going on, if you're on Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is, give me a fire emoji. Show me that you're still fired up from this win because I mean, like I said, it wasn't even a win. It was a win of 33-8. And also, I don't know if anybody's seen, but the Dolphins after their week one loss, they had a players only meeting. Now, normally you get these, once the season starts to look a little bleak, but I mean, it was bad
After
enough.
the first game.
After the very first game, we've broken the Dolphins. They're really in shambles right now. And you know what? It's a shame because we met a lot of cool Dolphins fans during the tailgate, in the Blue Crew lot where we were this past Sunday, which they're going to be every Sunday when there's a home game. But I mean, they were pretty well, kind of excited about their team, but it's probably not exciting to hear that you had to have a players only meeting after week one. So, what do you make of that, Pat? Because I found it hilarious, honestly.
Well, it's funny to us, but we just come through shit like that. So I'm not going to laugh too much. How are you doing, Teresa? Terry, Kevin, Zachary, what's going on, you guys? So I'm not going to play too much into it. At least they're trying to get ahead of what they think is going on or what's wrong, and that's a good thing for that club. So yeah, I'll never trash on somebody trying to get better.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't think it's
to have a players meeting after the first game. That's
unheard of.
Pretty rough. That's pretty rough.
Yeah, and you know what? It was, and it's not to say that it's because of anything that's crazy or, it's not to say that it's necessarily something that would be unfair to say, but I think, I still feel like, we're a team that's good. I think we have a good makeup for our team, but we finally were able to put it together in a way that made it make sense to everybody. And I mean, honestly, it's just like the biggest statement that you can make week one is not just a win, but a win over a team that there's a lot of people out there that aren't giving you a chance against. I mean, to only be I think it was to only be favored by like 1.5, and then you go out there and you put 33 on their head, and they're only able to score 8. That means a little bit. That means something. That means something crazy.
It does. Hey, did we pay the bills?
Oh, yeah, we did not. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get that done right now. So you know what? We just talked about the game, and it's week 2. So you know what that means? Game on. Week 2 starts right now, and every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This isn't just football. It's first touchdown fireworks anytime touchdown rushes, and live bets that ride every momentum shift. At DraftKings, every play is your next shot to win. New customers, this one's for you. And as a matter of fact, I can start betting in Missouri now. So I'll be using that code. Yes. And what does that mean? If you bet just $5, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off for NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code SICKSPORTS. That's SICKSPORTS. All caps, no spaces. That's code SICKSPORTS to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Yes, sir.
So you're telling me if they use our code, they're basically getting $500 for free?
$500 total. And the crazy thing is, it's like you could bet $5. Now, for me personally, I am definitely going to be betting on games this weekend. That's me personally, but that's just because I get the bonus bets. And now with my student discount, which, by the way, I don't know if people knew this, but if you have a student discount, then I believe you also qualify to be able to still use those codes to get $200 off on YouTube and YouTube TV. So, like I said, if you have one of those old student emails that's still active, you just haven't used in a while, dust it off for this promotion. I guarantee you'll love it. But you know what? We're gonna go ahead and make sure that we just get to it because we're definitely going to be talking about this upcoming game. So. Broncos, Colts.
It's going to be a tougher matchup, Bubba.
It is. But you know what? We faced this team last year, right?
We did.
And is it unfair to say that first game or that game that we had last year, it was, I'm going to say we kind of shot ourselves in the foot and they capitalized on it.
Absolutely fair.
Yeah.
But
So
that was last year.
Mm-hmm.
Their players have changed. They've gotten better. Our players have changed. We've gotten better.
Yes.
So I can't hold too much of what happened last year going forward. Now, I'll look at last week and the way they played against the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
And I'll judge them from that. And their offense did not look good. Their defense looked pretty damn good, but their offense did not. Now, they got one hell of a coach in Sean Payton. I'm sure he's got in their ass. I'm sure they got some surprises for us. Yeah. So it ain't going to be a walk in the park by no means.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I think, and before we get too far into it, let's give a shout out to everybody commenting thus far. We got Kevin, Terry, Teresa, Zach, Daniel, and then we also have Steven, Brian, which I got to meet a good portion. I think I got to meet Daniel, got to meet Brian. So, and there are some people, if I miss any names, I apologize, but I definitely had the chance to meet you guys over the weekend. It was fantastic partying with you. Hopefully we get to do that again this season. But yeah, just want to make sure that we shout them out also while we're here. But one thing I think, especially when it comes to this team, right? Because we know that the nucleus of this team as it is right now was able to show some great things week one, right? Absolutely. So just even showing those things, I'm going to say on both offense and defense, what did you see on both sides of the ball that makes you believe that this game is not going to be anything like that game that we played last season?
The biggest thing that I seen, Chris, was every unit firing on all cylinders. Everybody knew where they were supposed to be. Everybody was where they were supposed to be. You didn't see people turn around like, hey, where were you? I thought you were covering this field. I thought you were doing this. We've seen that all through Gus Bradley's tenure. We didn't see none of that last week.
Yes.
That defense, that Lou's got that defense fired up and on point. Shane has got that offense fired up and on point. Special teams, didn't really see much of them, but we're going to give them credit there too.
Yeah.
Because we only seen special teams on the kickoff after scoring. So
it was very surprising to see that, from this offense, because like I said, I think we've been on record saying that we didn't necessarily believe that Daniel Jones was gonna be this guy. But now we're sitting here and we're talking about the fact that, he was able to lead this team for 7 drives and score on all of them. And that in and of itself is a big feat because, in the NFL, whether it's, I'm going to say whether it is a tough team or whether it's a team where you may consider maybe a pushover, being able to score on 7 offensive drives, especially as a quarterback, it's tough. It's tough. Like you have punch, you have everything that can happen, and I mean, it was surprising to see from a team that you weren't expecting any of that from. So,
go ahead.
So no, I was gonna say, so for you, defensively, who are you looking to have a big game for us, and who are you potentially looking at to maybe, I'm not going to say avoid, but I'm going to say that would maybe need to be spotlighted on Denver's defense?
Defensively, we got to do what we did last week, and we exploited Tua's weaknesses.
Yeah.
They pinched the outside receivers, kept everything in the middle. It's now come out that Xavier Howard told him that that's where Tua was weak. Where is Bo Nix's weaknesses at? I don't know. I haven't studied him enough to, confidently say, oh, it's the left side. Oh, it's the middle. Oh, it's the deep ball. So, but I'm sure the coaching staff has.
Yeah.
Find that weakness, exploit it. Push him where you want him to go, just like you pushed Tua where you wanted him to go. And look at the results we got by doing that.
Yeah.
And I do believe Tua is a better quarterback than Bo Nix. Just more time in the league, more starts under his belt. Excuse me. Charlie horse.
Oh, no.
Well,
Pat,
eat me a banana or something. Damn, I hate those things.
Drinking some water or something. I mean,
that's all I drink is water. But yeah, we'll see what Coach Lou's got for us defensively. But yeah, just keep finding those weaknesses. Push him where you want him to be, where you can exploit that. And what was the second part of your question? What do I see from them defensively?
Yeah.
From them, I see them attacking our young line.
Okay.
Right side, not so much, but center or left side, not so much. Center, guard on the right side, it's pretty young. And Goncalves and Bordellini. So I really see them going after the trenches.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones had crazy stats because of that line. They know they're going to have to get through it. I really see them trying to do everything they can to disrupt that through the trenches. Either through blitzes or just friggin' mad bulldog rushes. What are they going to do? I don't know. But that's where I see they're going to try to get us. Because they know Daniel Jones isn't the arm Anthony is. So, they're not going to put 2 people on Pierce. They know Pittman's a dog. They know Josh Downs is a dog. They know Tyler Warren's a dog. And they're going to try to keep them contained, more likely in the middle, like we did to Tua.
Yeah.
So if they're pressuring Daniel and he's trying to get rid of it quick, there's more opportunity for mistakes on our side and capitalization on their side.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I see it. But to me, it's going to start and end in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Since I'm rambling, let me just keep going. Offensively, our O-line's got to protect Daniel again. They absolutely have to.
Yeah.
Defensively, we got to push Bo Nix where we want him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to go. I don't know. I think we're going to see some, maybe not old school football, but some older school football than we're used to, because that battle's going to be right there in the trenches the whole game.
Yeah.
I truly believe that.
Yeah. And I think just to kind of double down and expound on that point, one of the things that has always been an issue with Bo Nix, at least, since he's been in the league, is the fact that it's very easy to kind of read him. Like the way that he's been outside of, I'm going to say, structure, he's one read and run. And I think the thing that you're going to see with him is that it's going to be much less him going to his progressions and more so just kind of taking him out of those situations where he'd have the opportunity to just go ahead and hit that first guy and then potentially take off if that's not there. Like I think it was more so the same way that we saw with Tua. We know the only difference with Tua was that his clock kind of speeds up a little bit more because of the fact that he generally has not ever really had time to sit in a clean pocket and really just be able to throw, the way that I'm gonna say that, Bo Nix may not Bo Nix, but the way that Tua is able to. Because I mean, even for him to have a sped up clock when he's passing, when he's, I'm going to say, just going through his first, second, third progressions, he does it really quickly. And like I said, it's because of the fact that he just doesn't have the protection. With Bo Nix, he does have a bad tendency to go and not do things that he's supposed to do. Now, mind you, this was the Tennessee Titans. Now, rightfully so, of course, it's just like you held that team to 20 points. But the thing is, they made Bo Nix turn the ball over 3 times. You had a pick and you had 2 fumbles. So that means that he's definitely not going to not be susceptible to going and making mistakes and doing those things. And I think Lou is going to be able to draw up a scheme that's going to make it very, very tough on him to be able to, I'm going to say, get comfortable, get settled, and do what he needs to do in order to, I'm going to say, to start building up momentum. So for me, I don't believe that. I believe that Bo Nix is it's definitely going to start in the trenches, but I think we're going to see a lot of fakes being thrown at him by Lou Anarumo.
Okay, I'm down for it.
Yes.
Do it. I love it.
Yeah. So
I love it all.
So yeah, and you know what? I'm going to even take it a step further, because I've been saying this, and I don't know if you agree, but like I said, this has just been my thing. Denver is going to be a tougher team than Miami, but I believe that they are, in terms of how they're viewed, at least from a media standpoint, I believe that they're very much way overblown in terms of how people are talking about them.
I think they are too. And I wanted to ask you, do you think Bo Nix is in that sophomore slump after seeing the Titans game?
I mean, I think I don't even think it's a sophomore slump. I just think now we're going to see what he's really going to have to do against tougher competition. Last year, that team went 10-7, with a favorable schedule. They were that Broncos team, when Bo Nix was drafted, that Broncos team, I believe they were the worst in their division. I believe. Because, like I said, and if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. But they were the worst based on where they got Bo Nix. If not, then them and the Raiders were neck and neck. But the thing is, you had a favorable schedule last season playing the NFC South. You played the Raiders, who were an absolute mess. And then on top of that, you went and you had games, like I said, they played us. I think it's just like I think we beat ourselves more than they beat us. They just capitalized on it. They played the Chiefs in week 18 when they'd already had everything locked up in terms of home field advantage. I think they were number one seed. They already had everything going for them. So there was nothing else that they needed to do. So, I mean, for me,
Right.
knowing exactly what they went through last year, it gave them a lot more leeway to be able to win those games that they needed to. Because, like I said, you had the Saints, you had I think the Panthers. Just those two teams alone wasn't beating nobody. The Falcons, they were awful. And then I think the best team out of that whole division was the Buccaneers. And I think they might have beat them, which was like the one game that was kind of like out of circuit for them. So for me, now you're going to be playing tougher lines. You're going to be playing against tougher teams. So now that landscape looks a little bit different for who they're going to be going against and what they're going to be looking to do. So when it comes to Bo Nix, he's going to see different looks and he's going to see a tougher time. Now, mind you, we play the AFC West plays the AFC South this year. So that means that you're going to have to see us. They're still going to have to see Houston with Houston's front seven. So I mean, I think this year you're going to see how he responds. But to me, I've never gotten the Bo Nix hype. I feel like those guys who were, I'm going to say, a little bit older coming out of college that have been in college for a while, they were able to have some success. But to me, the success really is, I'm going to say, the success may work against them because now you have to prove that that last year wasn't just like you peaking in your rookie season at 24, 25, whatever you were. Like now you're going to have to go back and do it. And to me, I feel the same way about Jaden Daniels because Jaden Daniels, for all the good that he was able to do, he's going to have to go out there and he's going to have to do it again.
Yep.
And so now you don't have that. Oh well, you know what? He's gonna be. He's a little older now. It's just like you know, you like I said, 24, 25 coming into a quarterback system, and now your schedule's gotten tougher. It's going to be very, very tough for you to. I'm going to say it's going to be very tough to. I'm going to say duplicate, if not increase that success now, because now, you know, what do you have? Also, I just don't think that highly of Sean Payton, but that's just me. That's I'd probably get in a lot of trouble for that, but you know what? It's yeah.
More likely.
Ooh,
Shoot, long day.
oh yeah, absolutely. But then let me ask you this, right? So for this game that we have this Sunday, right? For what we know that this game is going to be, I'm going to say, who do you think is going to be our biggest X factor offensively and biggest X factor defensively?
Since I've already called it a trenches game, our biggest X factor is going to be JT. And that
okay.
and JT and that O line, absolutely. And they're going to pick up on it. They're going to make adjustments, and then Warren, Downs, and Pittman's going to get involved. They're going to back the box off a little bit because now we're getting too many yards, and then we're going to go right back to the original game plan because we backed them off. But offensively, I see it being JT and that O line. Defensively, man, Buckner a lot too. Grove, Kawiti, they got to get the job done. They got to put pressure on Nix. And like you said, he's young. He doesn't go through his progressions the way he's supposed to. Mm-hmm. So if it's not there, he's on the run.
That's true. Yeah.
He's got pretty good legs. So in the rush of the moment, you still have to contain. You can't let him get outside. because he'll move. He's definitely going to move the change on you if that happens.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. You want to get them off the field as fast as possible. So
Exactly.
get the rush in, move him where you want him, but don't let him outside of you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, man, and Ward is in concussion protocol. That hurts. But we still got. I think Jones did not practice. I didn't see Howard on the injury report, so we got him to come back around. We still got Thomas that can swing out there. I think Kenny going to be Kenny week in and week out. You ain't got to worry about him. So yeah, that front four, man, I'm going to give it to those guys.
Yeah,
they're definitely going to be the biggest X factor, moving him where Lou wants him to be and not letting him get outside.
Yeah. And you know what? I think we have, because there was a couple of them. So the injury report today, this is the second report since yesterday, and that is did not participate Jalen Jones, Latu, and Charvarius Ward. Tyler Goodson was limited participant, so was Grover Stewart, but that was a rest day. And then full participant was Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman Jr. So, I mean, as it stands right now, I think the only person who they're saying that they're still kind of weighing exactly what's going to happen with him is Jalen Jones, because the word with him is that it's the re-injured hamstring. It's the same hamstring that he injured during training camp. So they're saying that one could be a multiple week thing. But Ward is the one that's just like, I think it said with his since he's in concussion protocol, just still having to show that he doesn't have symptoms and everything. So, but like I said, I think Grover Stewart is going to be a big one. And if I'm being honest, like even with Latu, like I know like that's a hamstring thing, I could see if he doesn't go, I think we could absolutely see JTT coming in and doing what he needs to do. And the only reason why I say that is because, so a lot of people were talking about the fact that, and what's going on to everybody, what's on Carvey, Dana, Moon Pie, what's going on with you? Jacob, Meanie's in here as well. And
Blue Meanie.
So, we have, I think there was a big deal that was made about JTT being a healthy scratch. And I think they spoke on it after the game where they said that it was more so of a game plan, more so of a fit for what they were looking to do at that particular time. Which to me is just like, I mean, that sounds a little strange, but I was at the same time, I said, you know what? I think to me personally, it's just like, it sounds crazy at first, but I think it makes sense because of who that you have at defensive coordinator. Like, you have Lou Anarumo, and he's going to draw up schemes where there's a defense that he likes to run, but that he's going to go with what defense is going to be best for who we're going against and what they like to do on a week-to-week basis. So, for example, for what we saw last week, we saw that what did he implement? We saw that he implemented some stunts. We saw that he implemented 4-man rushes, some 5-man rushes, but then we also saw that he dropped Latu into coverage, which we know that Latu's done before, and then we all see how that turned out. Now this week, there could be a different look altogether. It could be a power look where if you're going to be doing a power rush, that JTT might be somebody who's going to, I'm going to say, fit a power rush a little bit more evenly, or that, he may go with a different set altogether. It really just depends, just because that's who Lou Anarumo is.
Mm-hmm.
And, this week, I think if we're talking about like how these guys are going to go, I think if JTT ends up playing, if he has him going in this, I'm going to say going this week, I think that he's going to make a world of difference. because, like I said, it's just like you're going to need that rush, and I think the rush is going to be important to making sure that Bo Nix, he does that one read and run the way that he likes to do, and that's going to cause there to be a lot of issue, especially if you can rush him and get him off his clock and make him run. That's where you'll be able to make sure that he does all those things that you would like for him to do. Because, like I said, if we saw anything in that game from this past weekend versus the Titans, he's going to cough the ball up.
Yeah, I mean, his stats were really bad. 25 for 40, 176 yards, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles. And it was pretty rough day for him, I didn't see the game. I didn't even watch the highlights, but I'm imagining Tennessee got to him. Am I correct in saying that? With stat line like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, then right on time then with everything you just said.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's all the more reason why I think it's very important for us to make sure that we just remember that when it comes down to this team, or when it comes down to how we're making sure that this team looks, I think like on a week-to-week basis, we're going to see that, at least defensively, that you're going to see some things changing, and that even if things don't look the way that they do the week before, that doesn't mean that it's not working. It just means that you just have somebody who knows exactly how to go about doing everything that they need to do, with making sure that you're keeping quarterbacks uncomfortable, and that you're making offenses have to, I'm going to say, think a little bit more than you would expect them to. And if you can do that, fantastic. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, there ain't no more easy defense, Colts defense, that you're preparing for. There ain't no more lining off the receivers 10, 12 yards. Ain't no more of that shit.
Yeah.
You better bring your A game when you play us this year. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
And
I do think it's going to be a tougher matchup. I don't think we're going to score on every possession on this one, just because their defense is a lot better. And with our defense being the way it is, I'm telling you, I'm seeing a low-scoring game here. I'm seeing a defensive matchup that's just going to be old-school, hard-nosed football.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, offensively, I do think we're better. I do think we got more talent. Defensively, just looking at their stats, they're pretty damn good. Because like I said, I didn't watch the game. I haven't gone back and watched the highlights. I need to, but I haven't had a chance to. But stat-wise, they're pretty damn good. Stat-wise for us, we're pretty damn good. So, when the two best parts are defense, it's going to be a slugfest.
Yeah. I think so.
And I'm okay with that. I don't have to have a high-scoring game. I like a good, close, competitive defensive game anyways. So I'm excited for this one.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah, and like I said, this is something that I
Eric, we definitely want to
just
see him go off for 150 for sure.
Oh yeah. And Carvey said we will get 1 pick six. Quote me on that. We're gonna quote you on that, Carvey. So when you come back on Tuesday, I expect to be able to say you called it.
And if we don't get it, you got to wear a dress for a week.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
He already wears them a couple days a week anyway. So
I didn't need to know that.
Just extending it ain't gonna hurt him.
What you like to do is what you like to do, Carvey. I'm not one to judge. It's just that's on you. I'm not gonna say anything about that. So then and then like I said, so I think for me, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say the abbreviation agents. I'm gonna go with JT and JTT to make a difference this week. So yes, we're gonna go with strictly abbreviations.
I'm sorry. I'm getting text messages for that one.
Oh, with the dress thing.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to let out his secret. I'm not saying that he does. I'm just saying I'm going according to what you say. I don't.
It's not really a secret, though.
I mean, it is because I didn't know. I was unaware. So I mean, it is
Like
what
a
it is.
secret?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Back so I'm going to say, what is it that we are looking for for this week upcoming? Um, I'm going to say for the score for this week.
I hate doing the score predictions, you know that, but
Yes, but you have to.
I know. I called a little game, so let's go 24-20.
24-20. Okay.
Colts.
You know what? I don't see this being being as one-sided as it was last week. But I still see this as being a win. I'm going to go 27-24.
Yeah, still close game. A little higher scoring than my prediction, but yeah, it's still a close game. And
Yeah.
I do think that's what we'll see. I do think nothing's getting blown away.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. I like it's not to say that it was like that Miami was a slouch by any stretch of the imagination because Miami was still getting their flowers leading up to the game. But I just don't see it. So for me, seeing what happened last week in terms of what we were able to do and seeing how this team was able to function, seeing how this team was able to operate. I mean, they ran the ball. They made sure that they played to Daniel Jones' strengths. And not just that, but once the defense was able to get into it, the defense really set a lot of the tone and set a lot of that energy.
Yep.
Because I'm telling you, that first drive, driving down the field and then getting a field goal, it was cool because you're just like, okay, we scored on the first drive. But the defense on the Dolphins' first drive, getting a turnover, that set everything up a notch. And then now you go down and you score a touchdown. So now everything just kind of works together. And for me, that type of I'm going to say reciprocal energy, I think that carried us through the game because of the fact that you were able to see in real time when you score, the defense gets stops. Once again, that they were not getting last year. They get stops, and then the offense is able to drive down and score on the very next drive, which is something else that they had a tough time doing last season. That energy was, I'm going to say, that energy was extreme. It was a big energy that at that point you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, we're just going to keep building on it, and then it's just like that gave you that tone where you felt like, no, this is going to be happening for the rest of the game now.
That energy was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys were making plays, and you're sitting in the stands, and you see half your row stand up, flexing on them because of what the defense just did. Yeah, you didn't see that last year by no means.
Oh, yeah.
By no means. So, yeah,
Yes.
they're definitely going to bring it this week.
No, absolutely. And so, you know what? I mean, with that, I think it's going to be very important. But you know what? For the people, just to make sure that we stick to what we got, I need you to make a pick for DraftKings. Now, mind you, this is going to be using code 6sports, SICKSPORTS. Give me a pick for a player and what you believe that they are going to do, and then we can actually go ahead and make sure that we have that entered on a parlay. And this way, people, you can hold Pat to that because this way you can say, you know what, Pat? You know what, Big P? You won me my parlay this week with what you said, or you could say, hey, P, never do that again. So what's one pick? I'm gonna say, what is one pick for you that you'll use using code 6sports?
Anytime touchdown by JT.
JT anytime? Okay.
Sir.
All right. And you know what? I'm going to assist with that because there's actually been a lot of talk from the other side, from Pat Surtain, talked about it, and also Sean Payton. They talked about Tyler Warren, and they talked about his impact, what he's potentially going to be able to do in this game. I'm going to say Tyler Warren this week over 50 yards. So you know what?
Over 50 yards. Okay.
If the over under is 40, take the over. If the over under is 70, take the under. But I'm gonna say I believe that Tyler Warren is gonna get 50 yards this week. So yes. So that is going to be a big thing. So like I said, take that for what it is. Take that for what it is. I promise you we will not let you down. Okay? JT anytime touchdown, Tyler Warren 50 yards, whatever the line is. If it's under 60, whatever it is, take it. If it's over 40, take it. But we're going Tyler Warren 50 yards this week. All right?
All right.
So then with that being said, we're going to actually just go ahead and roll up on out of here. So with that being said,
well, can't roll out just yet.
What we got?
We got plenty of time. So I get to talk about the tailgate. Now, you guys, if you're coming to the game Sunday, we will be in the parking lot by 11 o'clock. We're going to be setting up. You don't have to wait. You're welcome to come. They will let you through.
Yeah.
Just tell them you're a part of the Blue Crew. They'll let you through. Come help us set up. Come get it going.
Yep. And you know what? I'm going to say, just to double down, because we had people come out to the tailgate over the weekend, and this was my first time experiencing it, and it was like no other. But even once you got there, you let people know, you're just like, hey, with Blue Crew, with the Anvil Crew, you can say you can go ahead and just get in. It's a great time, and it's a great time with great people. Tailgating is not just the drinks and everything. I think every single tailgate has something to offer. But speaking in regards to the Anvil will always make sure that you are welcome. I don't know how many people we had come through in terms of fans, whatever. But what I can say is that we had some Dolphins fans come in. And even the Dolphins fans that came in, we sat there and we talked to them for a while.
Absolutely.
They were hanging out. They were doing everything. We took pictures with them. And as a matter of fact, I think I didn't post it yet, but I'm going to post them on the page after this. So you can go on the Sick Podcast Anvil Show Facebook page, and you'll be able to see all the pictures and videos from this past weekend. You might have seen the live, but I mean, like I said, you're never going to be outcasted. It's never going to be anything. We're never going to treat you dirty unless you're a Patriots fan, in which case then you deserve it. But we're everybody's welcome. Everybody's always good to come through. It was great to have people. I saw people from the Facebook Live. I saw people from YouTube. I saw people from Twitter. I mean, we saw people, and you know what? Everybody had a chance to come through. We had a chance to eat. Acosta cooks up some mean food, and I'm actually able to say that now because he's always talking about the food.
Good point, Teresa. This game is a whiteout game. Do not wear your blue to the game. Wear your white.
I wish we actually had a whiteout uniform instead of wearing just the away uniforms.
Yeah, I know.
That would be amazing. Like we need a white, but you know what? Winning cures all. So you know what we're gonna say? If this season is successful, the boss lady, I think we should go ahead and just be like, listen, everything's on the up and up. Couple new uniforms here and there. You know what I mean? Just let's do it. Let's get like a black variant or something like that. Let's do like a different type of alternate. We know that they have those we have those uniforms. I think it's just like they're doing a different type of uniform rollout, and they're only doing certain ones, I'm going to say week to week, or like I think every couple weeks or so. So we might have a new one coming, but I just would like to see like something that's just different. Like I know like we like the stripes and everything, but I want to see something different. I wasn't a big fan of the Indiana Nights jerseys. I'm sorry, people. Please don't throw tomatoes at Pat next time you see him. But if you do, I'm not going to hold it against you. But I just want to say, it's just like I just would like some variety when it comes to our uniforms. Like there's a lot of things that you can do with the blue and white and everything. I would even like for there to be some type of like true like camel type uniform if that's the case. I know that would sound crazy, but still, you never know.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, and then other than that, was there anything else that you had to cover, Pat?
Nope. I think that's it. I mean, it can get real tough on these kind of talks if you don't
Mhm.
have, 87 stat lines and you're drawing lines to here to there, and just doing all kinds of weird stuff, so
Yeah.
generically, yeah, that's about all I got.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I think we're going to everything kicks up. I'm going to say once the season moves on. I think the biggest thing that we're going to see is that, after this game, I think we're going to see what that says about this team, right?
I
Because
think
we
so, yeah.
saw we saw what we did week 1, but now week 2, you're going in with a team that the media has already damn near crowned. So I mean,
Yep.
I think we're going to see a lot. We're going to see what the true makeup of this team is, I think, this week and what it could be moving forward. Because if this ends up being a win, and let's just say this ends up being a win that's, I'm going to say, a bigger win as our week 1 win, I think the narrative is going to change for a lot of people on the team. But if it ends up being a game where it's just like we just get by, but we end up being 2-0 for the first time in God knows how long, because once again, it's just like this is our first week 1 win in God knows how many years. So I mean, if we're 2-0, that'll be the first 2-0 start since I don't even know when the last time we started 2-0 up to this
Yeah.
point. But
Big
so I mean,
facts.
so we'll see what happens. But you know what? So in the meantime, if there's nothing else, we're just gonna go ahead and get up out of here. We appreciate everybody that's coming through. Pat, tell the people where they can find you on social media.
You can find me on the X at Big P Colts.
Okay, yep. You can find me on Twitter at CJ Colts fan. Sammy, could you bring up the page for me, please? Yep. So we got. You can also find us on Twitter at SickPod Colts. Make sure that you are liking, sharing, subscribing to everything. You can also, if you watch on Facebook, make sure you're subscribed on the YouTube as well. That one's also SickPod, or the Sick Podcast Anvil Show. And also, you can hear us on z103.com tomorrow, or not tomorrow. Well, I'm thinking it's Tuesday. You can find us Wednesdays on z103.com. You can download the app, or you can just search up z103.com, and then you're able to listen on there. We go live there 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, we are on Mix 105, and you can find us on VIP One Lounge Extra in the UK at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock UK Standard Time. I don't know what they call that, but that's what time they're on in the UK. They're 5 hours ahead of Eastern. So.
Now, I talked to the producers at Z103. I believe they are going to run our show on Thursday show on Friday at noon.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Now, Mix 105, they're going to run our Thursday shows Sunday morning.
Okay.
Since our Thursday shows are dedicated to this week's game.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
all right.
And I think in October, and I will keep everybody abreast, but Austin from Mix 105 is going to come to the tailgate and do a live radio show from the tailgate.
Okay.
So if you've ever wanted to be on the radio, here's your chance.
Yes, that was yeah. So definitely come through, show some love, all the great things. Make sure that you are there for it. Like I said, so just make sure. And then you said with Mix 105, do you know what time Sunday morning so they can hear the rebroadcast?
No, he told me, but I forgot.
All right. Well, we'll have that for you on Tuesday, or we'll update it on the page whenever they go ahead and have that information updated. In the meantime, you can also go to. Can you bring up that QR code for me, Sammy? You can go to Visit Indy. Great. It's a great site that I was actually able to use this past weekend. You scan the QR code, it lets you know everything going on in Indy. I know that there were a couple of different conventions and things like that were going on. I wasn't necessarily able to do it because they were going on the same time as the game. And I'm not going to go to a convention instead of the game. That's sacrilegious at that point. So we're not going to do that in the slightest. But like I said, go to Visit Indy to see what's going on, to see exactly what you can do. And yeah, so you do have that opportunity. Just make sure that you're using that website as well. But other than that, we are all set to go. So you guys have a great rest of your, I'm going to say great evening. Have a great weekend. Go Colts. 2-0
Enjoy the
after
game
this
tonight.
weekend. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because what is it? Commanders and Packers?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. So, hey, well, listen, we have no dog in this fight. We just hope for a good game. So, yes, we will go with that. But, yes, so with that being said, Sammy, take us out.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast and Bill Show on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.